Hey everybody, it's Last Robokai here. I'm joined by Cool Guy. Last mission in the village. Also, the girl that dunked on William last episode is Okatsu. She is essentially Hanzo's apprentice. And she's telling us to head back to the village because apparently something's going wrong there.
When is it not? Like, seriously, that village is just a write-off at this point. Seriously, just get some dudes in there with fire arrows. Like, spread those fires that have been burning there forever, and then just let it go. Just let it go.
I am genuinely surprised there is anybody left in the village. But yes, it is well and truly ablaze again. In fact, it's probably on fire worse than it was the first time. And today we're going to be using the dual katanas.
Man, these are so cool to look at. I never really got the hang of them very well, but they're so cool to look at.
So let's head to the shrine first, just to get our daily dose of Emerita.
Daily dude.
But obviously, because we're switching to different weapons and new gear quite often. Yeah, I was just like, oh hey, I better put my body up. I actually got enough to level up from that, so there we go. Yep. Always just check behind stuff, but also be careful you don't walk off, because there is like a point where if you walk far enough, you'll just fall into
I will say I was holding my breath there for a minute because like it is possible to see where the edge of the safe area is if you look pretty close, but it is very easy to miss.
I hope people appreciate just how much I dash through objects as well. There's actually a title you can get for doing that.
That was something
it's
you
called
always
Destroyer.
Yeah, you always gave me grief for not doing it enough during our streams, and it was one of the couple of things that I was just like, yeah, that's a pretty fair cop.
Well, it's one of the most important things about it is that oh, hold on, I'm getting shot at. Let's just get the bow out.
You switched to water bowl.
Yeah, I've switched to the bull. I've switched to I've switched to Earth Bull, by the way. Purple is Earth. And he's quite cool, and I'm gonna show off. He's actually he buffs your life and things like that. So he's actually pretty good. Yeah. So the hand cannon, as you can see, the hand cannon is the third ranged weapon. We got one as a reward for beating the last mission. As you can probably tell, its biggest weakness is that you have to take a knee whenever you want to use it. It is the least mobile of the ranged weapons.
Yeah, you can't move at all.
And yep, there's still a dude in a cave.
And this cave is still the site of 1,000 broken dreams.
You can see here just how sort of spread out the damage is. Even doing like down attacks on an enemy with the dual katana does multiple hits, which is quite nice. Now, what earth damage does is when an enemy has been struck with enough earth damage that it fills up their meter, it makes them take double ki damage, which is actually really cool. Because, like I said, all the elements have a different sort of effect to them. Fire is tick damage. Earth is doubles your ki damage, which can be extremely handy against yokai, because you will essentially blender them down. And eventually we will get weapons that naturally have elements attached to them. Yes. And once we start getting weapons like that, or start using our talismans that buff our weapons with elemental effects a bit more often, we'll start to see what happens when you start stacking elemental attacks. This is the weirdest enemy. Look what he does. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take a shot, and yeah, rather than like finish a patrol, he just teleports back to the beginning and starts it again.
Just takes
that's
giant
so weird.
Shit, whatever, don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's so weird. I mean, at the same time, it's cool, but I can't remember how often it happens.
I certainly didn't see that when we were streaming, just because, like, you know, I saw one dweller up there and was just sort of like mine.
Yep. Oh, and also this guy.
That may or may not be a direct quote.
Obviously, as before, we won't have a terribly large moveset for the katana. We do have all of our stance buffs and everything like that. It'll be we will be using it more often later as well. There are so many side missions to play with. Don't worry about it. That's my favorite shortcut. maker, by the way. Just kicking a big water barrel.
Putting out the fire, that's fine. William the firefighter.
You're about to witness probably the worst character journey in the game. That skeleton. That skeleton's life is now.
I was gonna say, are you referring to the skeleton? Because I mean, I'm pretty sure we don't see anybody else in this particular level. Game over, buddy. That was a good way of covering your mistake, by the way.
Yeah. I didn't whiff. I wanted to set up using my living weapon. You don't. So hey, where's the skeleton? Oh, there's. He fell through the hole. Oh no! It's the skeleton of Cool Guy. That was magical. Yeah, I know. Here's another new enemy. Yeah, just let it out. It's alright, let it out. Oh dear, it is.
Oh, I genuinely was not expecting that.
All that just to die. But anyway, that was an Oni-Bee. Oni-Bees are elemental-based flying heads that shoot balls of whatever elemental color they are, and when you kill them, they will grant for a brief period of time, as depicted around the stance meter on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, how long, however long that is, you will have that elemental effect. So they can be a boon if you get fire on and you want to burn some things to death. That can be incredibly handy. It can be a little bit problematic though if you get it and you're fighting against an enemy that has the same sort of element, because that basically means it's not as effective. Always be slapping wells.
The game uses both tricks with about equal regularity.
Yes. We haven't met the real shitlords of this level yet, by the way. You might say, oh, that's why the place is on fire. There's floating fireheads around. No.
No. Screw that guy.
Yeah, I don't like to use the hand cannon, so I'm just using it a bit. You might have just seen the real shitlord go flying by there.
Oh my god. Everything about that freaking fire wheel is bad. Like, imagine Pinwheel, or the skeleton pinwheels from Dark Souls. Now set them on fire, and now
wheel
give them actual recovery moves when they stop moving. You have this dick face.
So they're called the Wheel Monks. They're essentially the story about this particular kind of yokai is that they were somebody who was an absolute shit balls person in life, typically referred to as a war general or something like that. And this is their penance journey. So they're their heads are shaved as a monk would shave their head, as anyone would shave their head when they go on a penance journey. So that's why they're sort of referred to as wheel monks. There is a story. I did a little bit of yokai research. I found a nice little place, yokai.com. I highly recommend you go there because there's way more yokai than just what you'll see in this game. But you'll be able to sort of find nice stories about the stuff that appears in it. The great thing about the wheel monk is there's this story essentially where one was rolling around as it does, and a woman looked out the window, and the wheel monk saw her and said, "Lady, you should be spending less time looking at me and more time looking after your child." And she looked in to look at her baby, and her baby had its legs eaten off.
Jesus.
And she looked back out the window again, and there was the wheel monk with the baby's legs in his mouth, laughing as he ate them and rolled away. I don't know how the fuck he did that, but Jesus Christ.
Fucking wheel monks.
Look after your children. Don't look outside at the wheel monks. Basically, is the moral of the story. When there's a wheel monk in town, everybody just stays inside, shuts the windows, that sort of thing.
That is pretty accurate to how big of a dick face they can be in this game, though.
Yes.
Just like even like with that get up maneuver that you saw RoboKai move away from, where he got up from being downed and just shat out a whole bunch of fire. Yeah, you can imagine about half of your health going off on that, and then it usually staggers you pretty hard. So you've got quarter a second to react before he does something like uses that flamethrower attack on you and finishes you off.
Yeah, they will seriously fuckle your day.
Oh my
the good
God.
news is that glowing emerald piece on their back is their weak point, and it will instantly knock them prone. So at the very least, you can prevent some measure of them smacking into you and doing stupid shit. And it is relatively easy to get at, so long as you can bait them to do their flame breathing attack.
Yeah.
You can always go via the left side to get behind them, and they will generally do it. They'll generally do it, you know, right in front of you. The biggest problem is
on this statement.
yeah, the biggest problem you'll face trying to deal with it, of course, is the fact that they come over here. They will often be fought in places where getting behind them is easier said than done. At which point you have to be very careful.
Even then, just like we're talking about, hey, you know, if you like, it's fairly easy if you do this very specific thing in this precise way, and it's just like, bro, there are so many ifs to this statement.
Yeah, but, you know, that's where it is, and that's how you gotta deal with it. You know, like, you might not always get what you want, you might not, you know, you might not be coming to the dance with who you... Also, let them run into walls can also help. So there is someone shooting a fucking arrow at me, and I'm pissed!
Yeah,
also, I'm on
now
fire.
You're on fire.
Yeah, it's rude as fuck.
You need to get on that ladder, that boy is gonna murder you!
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Yeah. Things are happening. Yep, got stunned by the arrow, got bashed by a rock. Okay, I'm having none of this.
Ooh. You very nearly got grabbed again.
Yeah,
that was
but I lived.
so close.
It's me, the boy who lived. Okay, I've had enough of your skeleton arrowing, my friend. It's time to go.
Yeah, it's time to stop. Where are your parents?
I know there's a guy. Yep, there's a dweller. I'm just like, at this point, I'm just like, okay, you know what? I'm getting so done with this.
Yep. Honestly, you showed a hell of a lot more patience about that than I would have in a similar situation. We would have been earth bowling it up the second I started taking fire from that archer. To become a burning wheel.
Mm-hmm.
That is for what purpose your body was offered up.
It strongly suggests that that these guys didn't become wheel monks by choice. I guess nobody becomes a wheel monk by choice, but these guys seem to contain a bit more fresh human memories. Whereas, you know, they're not quite at the eating the baby's legs and laughing about it stage of their existence.
Give them time. I'm sure they'll figure it out.
Yeah, they'll get there. Is he just not gonna...
I love that guy. He's just sort of standing there having a great day until you come by.
I do have a combo finisher where I do a roundhouse kick. And the roundhouse kick can actually be really good against regular human enemies, but also against skeletons. Skeletons, when they're very susceptible to ki damage, and when you deplete their ki, they immediately just fall apart and land on the ground. It's great.
Oh man, another Yoki in this situation. Do you guys remember how many people a Yoki in this like very specific situation killed last time we were here?
Yeah. Doesn't seem like there's too many this time.
I can only chalk that up to fewer people playing this.
Or everybody having much more trouble with the wheel monks.
People just get murdered by the wheel monks and just like, I'm done with this piece of crap level.
A big part of learning how to face yokai is seeing all of their tricks, and the thing about the wheel monk is a lot of its tricks will just instantly churn you into butter. Like, you will get fucked up by that charge 9 times out of 10.
Specifically bone marrow butter, because that's the only thing that's going to be left of you.
They will cook you. They will cook you from the inside out. They they leave fire trails too, so it can be a little tricky to try and get them when they do the charge attack.
Yeah, that's what kept warding me off every time I fought a wheel monk, is that I found it so difficult to get a good angle on them, simply because I was like, okay, I'll just dodge the charge and then follow up. no, there's fire there, and you know that fire will incinerate you very, very quickly.
Yeah, they don't fight
It
fair.
is no joke.
We will see some wheel bugs in some absolutely mean locations later on in the game, but I don't mind. I enjoy a good challenge. I enjoy a good getting bullshitted by the enemy. There's the other shrine, so we might as well go visit that, respawn some enemies, go around and collect all of the items before we kill the last wheel monk, because killing the last wheel monk will finish the level. Basically, the reason our entire village is in flames is because our friends are wheeling around at the speed of a sound, so...
Again, I feel in my plan you would just basically build a big old wall around it and just let them do the work. Like they're basically doing your work for you in there.
I just oh dear. Yeah, so you have to be careful because this last one is actually going around a fair amount in the area. He's got a very wide patrol radius, so you want to try and avoid aggroing him if you want to fight the rest of the dudes, which is what I want to do. I want more Amrita, I want more drops. You can still open chests and things like that around the place if you really want to, but
there's not a whole lot of time.
Yeah, yeah, there is actually a timer that goes like before the level ends too. I always forget that because usually I have everything done beforehand.
Wow, that guy did not stand a chance.
Yep, some people get really bad days, and some people have days where they fall down holes in ceilings trying to get at you, like any good skeleton.
That was way funnier than it had any right to be. Like I realized that didn't look like much, but just
oh no,
it was an epic journey of one skeleton to find himself. He found himself at the bottom of a damn hole.
A lot of people might have been wondering why I kept saying there's a hole there, don't fall down it.
There's fire there, don't step in it.
Yep, good times. Sort of wondering where the other guy is. Oh well. He'll either get there eventually or he's fucking dead. It doesn't matter. It just like there are 3 ceilings that sort of have weird sort of flat areas around them, and if you step on them, the floor basically collapses, as you saw with the skeleton. I never really explained that when I cracked the jokes. You can sort of see it here. And there's one there. I've gone around it. I don't trust anything. I'm going to show off something I haven't shown off with the living weapon before as well. When you're in living weapon mode, you can actually summon your spirit guardian and get them to attack on your behalf. So here we go. The bull charges in a straight line. They each have their own special attack, and there are talismans that you can get that use them outside of living weapon, and they're called moment talismans. So they're pretty handy to have. And you, of course, with using the magic system, you can get them to use them. They will do the damage of their element as well, which is also very handy. And yeah, they each have a unique style of attack, a unique range of their attack, in this case, straight line.
Yeah, I don't think I ever did that when we were streaming through.
Yeah, I don't think I ever brought it up. Because it's not something I use terribly often, but the one for the bull is, as you can see, really good. So... Yeah.
They're just basically like, I am a bull. Your argument isn't valid.
Yeah, it's just like, he just charges and it's great. Nioh 2, actually, the beta for the Nioh 2 that I've played, because the alpha. I've played the alpha, by the way, because I'm a very lucky soul and someone was kind enough to give me a code.
I mean, if anybody deserves it, it's you.
They actually replaced the dual axes. There's no dual katanas in the alpha. That doesn't mean they won't be in later. They might be, they might not be, but they've got dual axes. And some of the moveset actually lets you throw the axes as well, which is pretty cool. So, Nioh 2 looking to be amazing.
Nioh 2 looking good. You heard it here first, folks.
I am so... Oh, jeez.
This is a seriously bad situation.
This is the place where you don't want to fucking meet a wheel monk in an alley.
that was a combination of incredible luck and incredible aplomb on your part to get through that without getting your face rammed in.
Because I keep calm.
So wrong.
The worst thing you can do in this game is panic. There we go.
Speak for yourself, buddy.
No, they will punish me sometime eventually.
Well, I mean, I took it as to him saying, "Hey, you're gonna be a wheel monk too." It's just like, nah.
I insist everybody pay very careful attention as well to the description that comes up at the end here. I'm gonna let it sit there for just long enough, because this is like one of my favorite things. This is the last time we're going to be going to the village, unless I choose to just do maybe a commentary-less run through of the nightmare version, or the Twilight, version of the village. But yeah, apparently the village elder's muttering something about needing more sacrifices.
Yeah, Okatsu, maybe you wanna follow up on that?
Okatsu will give us a lot of missions where afterwards she'll go, "Wow, there was something really weird that happened afterwards, but whatever."